writing of your introduction. So the introduction of your paper will present the topic of interest and your research problem. Okay, so it is composed of a couple of paragraphs, around 4 to 5 paragraphs, that will present the general subject and will introduce to the reader the relevance of the topic, and of course introduce to the reader your research problem, introduce to the reader the research gap that you have identified, and sum it up by what are the things that you will do in this research process. Okay, so you will state your research problem in the opening paragraph so that the reader would directly see this is the researcher is trying to do. You will going to present the issue, you will going to present the practical problems, and those statements needs to be supplemented or cited with a relevant, reliable sources. So you need to include the readings that you have used for or in arriving with that research problem. The references of the problem that you have used, okay, the literatures. So you need to include citations or literatures in your introduction part so that the readers would know that you have verified all the contents in your introduction and it is reliable. So you are not just talking nonsense, you are basing it from evidences. So you have to justify to the readers what have you found, what have you read, and that is based from the references that you will include in your introduction. Also, when you identify the gap, you will present it into the introduction part, and the references will help you justify to the readers that there is still something that we need to know about this topic. There is something that we need to improve about this practice. And before you end your introduction, you are going to wrap it up by presenting how will you address this research gap. So you would present what would be your intention in order to address the research gap about this topic. You might also include the significance, the people that would benefit, the beneficiaries of your research. So these can be the beneficiaries of your research. Now with the technical writing, this can be one of my suggestions that you would follow in doing your technical writing. So as I have mentioned ago, you can begin your introduction writing or your research writing with identifying research problem. And then you will produce research question. From that point, you can do now your introduction, following this introduction triangle, where in the first general statement, you are going to have this discussion about the major topic and the issues, and you will connect it with the general statement to the things that you have gathered to the research gap. So coherence is very important in every paragraphs of the introduction. So we will limit our introduction to a maximum or to 4 to 5 paragraphs only. And remember, coherence with this 4 to 5 paragraphs is very important. You have to choose the correct words because it has to be consolidated. The ideas must be consolidated in every paragraph and they must be coherent to each other. At the end of the inverted triangle, you have to give your conclusion statement, which is the fifth paragraph of your introduction, and that is called the thesis statement.